Hi everyone, welcome back to What Leslye Loves. So I did it again. I bought the same bag again. Well, kind of, but I think this time I finally found the perfect one. But first, if you like this video, please definitely give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. It really does help me continue to share the things that I love with you guys. So I've got some explaining to do, and I know I did it again. Cue in the Britney Spears song. I'm not gonna say it so that I don't get in trouble with the YouTube music stuff, but anyway, I bought it again. I did. I have another Coach Empire sitting here in front of me. She even has a cute little silk twilly that my sweet friend gave to me from Silk Philosophy. But we're not talking about this twilly. We're here to talk about this bag. So it's not really a huge surprise if you've watched some of my other videos because I am kind of revealing this. I've given little hints here and there on other YouTube friends that I may or may not have gotten something. As you guys know, I tried this bag the first go around with the Coach Empire 28. That one I bought from Saks Fifth in the maple color, and I didn't like it. The minute I opened it up, I knew it wasn't for me. And then of course I bought the Coach Carryall, the soft Carryall in the 40. And that's the it bag, I think, of the year. I just did my video on the Coach Tabby, which she's down here. And that was actually Coach's #1 bag according to Google. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Empire is probably a close second. Anyhow, it was probably one of the hardest things, but I packed that bag up. There are some issues with it. It does not come without its flaws, and I think if you just love the silhouette, you kind of have to forgive it. And so that one, however, it just sat there and I was like, oh no, you guys know me, I'm ruthless. If I'm not wearing a bag, I think the Tabby and the Speedy are probably the only 2 bags of my collection that I will allow to sit there and look pretty. But the rest of you better be giving me some utility and function or make my outfit look cute. Something has to happen, otherwise, fuera, as Jessie and I say with one another. So I kept seeing videos come up on YouTube and on Instagram, and I could not get that bag out of my head. So once I shipped back the soft Carryall Empire, totally out of order, but you know what I mean, the 40, I really was having a hard time forgetting about it. And I really was almost having, not sellers because I didn't sell it, but returning remorse. I just really even missed looking at that bag and feeling it. There was something about that soft leather that I really loved. Then my husband and I decided to take just a quick day trip, just him and I, and we went to my local-ish mall that has a Coach store. And my essay wasn't there that day, so I was not gonna buy anything. However, this bag was there and I got to see so many other goodies, and there's nothing like shopping in the boutique. So that said, I got to play around and touch and feel all these new bags that have come in since the Empire and since the Brooklyn, and it was a lot of fun. And interestingly enough, I grabbed this exact bag. Like I grabbed it, I was like, oh, this is a 35 size. And let me rewind. When I knew when this bag was coming out, before it came out, because I had gone to the same store and my essay was like, hey, do you want to see? This is going to be a new release. It's coming out. It'll be releasing. I think it was releasing like in a week or 2, something to that extent, but they had it in the store already, kind of locked away. And he brought out, it was this size, it was the 35 and the 26, and that's what's being showcased in the boutique, and then the 40 and the 48 came out after the runway and the big release. So I saw this one, it was this size, and this is what I fell in love with from the very beginning. When this came out, he reached out to me and he's like, hey, we have it available for purchase. Do you want one? And I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna sit this one out for a little bit. And then in come all the videos on the Carryall 40. And I was like, oh my word, FOMO kicked in full swing. And I was like,
have got to have that bag.
And it happened to come in, and I did exactly that. I ordered it, it came, and the rest is history. There's a video unboxing and blah, blah, blah. So when I went back to visit the boutique, this original size that I saw was there, and I kind of grabbed her and I kind of held her, and I was like, the biggest thing that impressed me the most was the leather. Now this is Coach's original glove tan leather, as it states on there, and the soft Empire Carryall is in full grain leather. And the leather snob in me and the perceived quality expert in me was like, I want to have the 40 because that has a better leather. And it does. That is the better leather to have. However, when I touched this, and this was the display, I know, it's kind of crazy. Leslye bought a display bag. This was a display bag, and the essay that was there was kind of sharing with me that they have a leather expert that comes in and kind of massages these bags and conditions them. They also had an Empire 40, Carryall 40, and that one was a lot, as you guys know, that Empire Carryall is very smushy and slouchy, and so much like I do with my other bags where I like to look at bags, I love to watch YouTube videos, I love to see Instagram photos, I love to see the bag in action as best as possible, but I also like to see what a bag looks like in the resale market, because generally speaking, this year I have gotten some new releases, and so I'm part of the data that's going out there and feeding the world, but generally speaking, I'm always late to the game. And so I get the benefit of seeing and watching other YouTube videos and seeing how the bag ages. Poshmark is also a huge help for me because I go on there and I look at, or Fashion File, go on both of those websites to see how does this bag look once it's a little weathered and used. So these two bags obviously were display bags, and the soft Empire Carryall 40 was a lot slouchier and droopier, and I know some people love that look. That's not my jam. And so seeing that was super interesting because I was like, I don't really like that. I don't like how it's aging because it's sitting there. And that was probably one of the main reasons why I was like, I don't think this bag is for me, because it was like, it's super saggy. You can see that this one, because it's the glove tan leather, it's just a little bit more bouncy and kind of maintains its shape more than anything. So I grabbed this one and I was like, I put it on, I tried it on. I tried it on the 26, and I left the store that day thinking, I think I'm gonna get the 26. And I even reached out to my essay and I was like, hey, when you get a 26 in the black, can you keep me in mind? Because he knows me, I like it all fully wrapped. I like him to unwrap it and send me pictures, and I'm super needy, I realize it. But that's how good he takes care of me. So don't everybody put your essay through the ringer like that. Mauricio, I appreciate you. Then the thoughts started creeping back in, like, you know, why did I do that? But then I started trying to research the 35 because I said, maybe I got the size wrong. Sometimes I get the size wrong, sometimes I get the color wrong. But I was like, really? We're back at this? Like, you've tried the 28, you've tried the 40. Really, the one in between is gonna be the one? Let me just, spoil alert, she's the one. She really is the one. So I reach out to Mauricio after I kind of start looking at videos, and there's some videos of the 35, but there's not a lot. And I'm like, gosh darn it, do I need to do market research? So I reached out to my essay and I was like, hey, I think I want the 35. Don't think I'm crazy, but he's never judgy. Can you please see if we can order a 35, or do you have another one in the back? He had another one, but it had some blemishes on it, and he right away was like, hey, I don't think you're gonna like this one. And we were kind of going back and forth. He was super sweet. We kind of got on a quick FaceTime video. because that was just the best way to kind of go through it. Because when I buy it from him, he has to wrap it up and mail it to me. And, you know, we don't want to, it's a pain in the butt to deal with the returns. We'll do it, but I don't want to go through it. I don't want to put him through it, or the store for that matter through it. So long story short, I was like, hey, you know, it was really the display bag that stole my heart, because I actually really love how molded in that leather was and how almost lived in it felt. And I could tell that he was like, are you sure? So we looked at that, and this one's not perfect, but I feel like, again, sometimes when you really just love something, let's just compare this to our spouse for a second. Mine is probably, if he's out there listening at all. They're not perfect, right? But you just love them. And that's kind of how I feel with this one. It's not perfect. There's probably a couple little stitches that I don't super love, but I want to, in my mind, I felt like maybe that would release me from the paranoia of hurting this bag and adding character marks, because I feel like this is one of those bags, it's a legacy bag that you'll just have for many years to come. It's gonna get some character. And that's what makes it beautiful, right? So give me just a moment. I'm gonna set her down on a flat surface so I can kind of show you what fits inside and keep rambling away. Time out. All right, so if you weren't here for that whole entire story time and explanation of why I oopsie did it again, here's the more practical part of this video. Here she is in all her glory. So again, Coach Empire Carryall in the 35 size in black. I had to go with black. That's the one that makes my heart sing. And I have another bag that I thought I was gonna release the video of this first, but I'm out of order, and it is what it is. So you're kind of getting a sneak peek of this one. Anyhow, another goodie. This prompted this. See how my brain works? It does come with a crossbody strap. I don't really intend on using this. However, it's a nice to have. This is a little bit different than the Empire 40 because it does have two compartments. The 28 and this one are very similar. So you have the two compartments, and you guys know that I actually love Coach's cotton lining. I really like this lining. It feels good. This other lining on here feels just like the Empire Carryall 40. So it does share some characteristics between all the bags I love from Coach. And then you have your buckles here for that strap. I do have a customized Coach hang tag that I had from another Coach bag, but she does have feet on the bottom. I love, love, love that logo. It's so beautiful. And so when I got her, I was like, okay, watch this not work. But it works. So let me unpack this, everything I have in here, which are my everyday staples and a little sum, and put it into this bag. So in the middle compartment, I'm pretty certain I would put my iPad mini if I had to carry that with me. My phone, I think I will also end up putting in the center compartment here for ease. And how I intend on using this is one side is going to have all of my personal items, so wallet, my Kipling. I don't know why I have two wallets in here, but let's just pretend like I have pouches galore. I just want to prove my point that it all fits. My Osmo that I'm not using. My keys. All of these items have to come with me. My hand sanitizer and my pill box, I'm gonna put that in this little pocket back here. So it has a little pocket with snap closure. That's where the Coach Creed is. My hair clip. I just always end up tossing this in my bag, and my sunnies. So all that fits on this side, and I promise to show you, we don't need this, time out. So all of that is on this side of the bag as we see here. I know I have my fancy gimbal where we can see from the top down, but this is just about me making excuses and showing you how practical this is. In comes the laptop. This is a MacBook Pro 14-inch, and fits in there. Now, is this a perfect fit and does it fit flush in there? No, but my other tote is the Polen seam and this doesn't fit in there perfectly either. So I give it a pass because when I take my laptop, I literally take it to an appointment and then I do what I need to do with it. And I'm a realtor, so listing presentation, do what I need to do. And I always come back home to put my laptop back. And then folder, because I'm always carrying some sort of documents, like anything that the client needs to sign at that point. And here we are. Now, this is definitely on the heavy side. And I think that I probably can make do with removing my iPad because it's either or for me. And I probably wouldn't bring my whole entire pouch. I would just take whatever lip gloss in there that's suitable for the occasion in terms of color. And that would be it. This fits. The point is, everything fits in there. Let me move this away so I can show you how this all looks. All right, so here she is. And you can't see her down here, but this is heavy. However, this is how I would walk into a listing appointment or to a work meeting or whatever the case is. I'm carrying everything and the kitchen sink in here, as you can tell. But let me show you, if you're in a pinch and you have time to go back home to drop a laptop off, this is gonna get heavy. Let me show you how that strap works. All right, I got the strap attached and you just have the lobster clasps there. Really nice strap. I love the width of this strap actually. However, I'll just show you. If I were to wear it crossbody, it works and it's comfortable. Now, would I do this long term? No. Me personally, if I had to carry everything that I'm carrying now and I had to commute on a train, bus, walk a ton, Mama's wearing a backpack. We're not doing this. I do not need to look that cute. There's some great backpacks out there by MZ Wallace and Bellroy, and I can name a whole other, no designer. I'm going practical. But if I'm like, okay, I've got to do some city appointments and I'm in a pinch and this is what I've got, this isn't bad at all. So that's how it is front. The width of this strap is perfection, which is ironic because I'm not going to use this strap. Maybe I'll use it on a different bag, but one of the other videos that I watched, they actually put another hole in this to be able to carry it more shoulder carry. So she added, I think probably a hole about here. This is just, it's really heavy on either side. This is my more weak shoulder. So I'm either gonna walk in looking cute with it on the side here or on the crook of my arm and then quickly going in and setting it down. Let me set her down because she is getting a little heavy. All right, so I'm gonna set her here and I kind of just wanna show you for reference in comparison to some other bags, because I know it kind of helps me to imagine the sizing of things and it helps when it's with somewhat familiar bags. So I have them down here, don't mind me. This is your tried and true Speedy. And what I appreciate about this bag in particular is that it carries everything I need it to carry, and sure, it's sticking out a little bit, but this handle drop is perfect. It's better than the Speedy, as you can tell. But it does what I needed to do without looking like luggage on me because I'm 5'3". So the Empire 40, it was a little obnoxiously big on me. And that it is what it is. It was passable, but it was too big. This is your Speedy. And you can see this is not that much bigger, wider. It's about that. So Speedy. This is a Demillier London New York midi, and this does not hold a laptop or a folder, so this could not replace this. This is just kind of like my alternative on days that I don't quite need this or I don't quite want to carry the Speedy, which is often these days. This just fills such a great void for me, and I'll have a video coming up on this next week, but they have very similar capacity other than I can't put my laptop or a folder in there. Otherwise, they both fit about the same. So for reference, they're the same width in many ways, although the bottom of this is definitely smaller. So I'm saying that they're the same capacity in terms of what I carry. It does the same thing for me, with the exception of fitting the laptop, but this definitely has more capacity. So let me set the record straight. So that's the New York midi. And last but not least, the Polen seam. This is the regular size, and this is definitely a little wider because keep in mind you can't even do this to the bag. However, when you do this, you kind of cinch it in from the top a little bit, so I find that my laptop will stick out even more. And I currently have an insert in there, which is super annoying to use with the insert. So the insert is pretty much a bag stuffer for me right now, so don't buy the insert. But these two kind of serve the same function for me. They're not a repeat to me because obviously this is definitely a tote. There's no way for me to carry this crossbody. If I need to carry a little bit more, or if I really need this color, this is obviously going to serve its own purpose and stand on its own. However, ironically, I'm saying stand on its own, meaning it'll kind of hold its own next to this one. This one does flop over a lot, and especially with the weight of a laptop bag, it's not the most comfortable thing. So I'm going to quickly put my laptop in here to show you that it kind of still peeks out. So it's not a perfect fit. So if I had to choose between these two totes to be practical, the Empire 35 wins. It's just the perfect profile. It has the similar feature of this. I'm very much into this pleating style, kind of like that dumpling shape. They both have top handles, except these stay up, and for some people they'd prefer if they kind of fell down. I don't mind that. However, it does kind of limit me where I can store this, but I have the perfect spot for this and nothing else. So it does also force me to be very intentional about what I have in my collection. So anyhow, between these two, I hate to do that to dethrone the Polen seam, but I do think that this one kind of takes the cake and wins. And that's why I was like, if I get it, and if my laptop and everything fits in here comfortably, she's a keeper. All right, I'm back. Now that I've explained myself, I gave a little bit of background as to what happened and how I ended up at this point. The big question is, does what Leslye Loves love this bag? And the answer is 1000% yes. I'm so happy I gave it one more try. Sometimes, just sometimes, you have to go through the ringer to get to the right spot, and that couldn't be more true for me in 2024. And I think this is a perfect culminating point for me in terms of my handbag collection. It draws a lot of parallels to my career. Sometimes you need to go through the ringer to get to where you need to be. And this really, it wasn't a ringer. This has been fun, and I'm trying to make fun of it for myself because this is my outlet, right? However, I do buy my handbags to use them and love them and enjoy them, and this really is the right size. I really think that if you found yourself not quite sure which size to go in, or if the 40 was too big for you, give the 35 a try, especially if you were like me and you were being a leather snob and I was like, I'm not getting the regular Coach glove tan leather. I'm so happy I did this because this bag feels beautiful. And I also broke the big rule of getting a display bag. She has a couple little blemishes, but so do I, and I still love her. And this is all packed in. I'm not struggling to carry it. It's that good. And I'm so glad that I'm finishing off the year super strong with loving just about everything that's been coming in. But I think after time and experience, you kind of just know what's gonna work and what's not, and you're gonna get the occasional duds, but I really feel like I'm honing in on what my style is, realizing I need to buy for me and not my fantasy self. And occasionally it works out, but more often than not, I need to just get the tried and true. And I went with black. The size is great. She's beautiful. She feels great. And I feel like I finally can say I have my official work bag. So to all the totes I've loved before, thank you. You've served your purpose. You've helped me. But in the end, the Coach Empire Carryall won. Anyhow, if you have any other questions that I have not touched on in this video, please do leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, please definitely give it a like. If you hung out with me through this entire process, thank you, thank you. I'm glad to finally come clean and be done with this and finally share where I've landed at with this whole entire Carryall Empire fiasco. What a happy ending, right? Anyway, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna stop here. You guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.